plaintiff, Brandlin Bible, and his wife Diane say years ago he and the defendant's mother got married while drunk in Vegas. But after she got pregnant with the defendant, she said Brandlin was not the father. However, he now believes he may be, so he petitioned the court for a paternity test. Defendant Sukisha Andre and her sister Ayanna Davis say growing up their mother was addicted to crack, and they saw her turn tricks to support her addiction. Eventually, they were put into foster care, and she didn't find out until years later that Brandlin may be her biological father.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
And Mr. Bible, we are here to determine whether you're the father of Sukisha Andre. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's begin the case.
Well, Your Honor, I was in the military. I met Keisha's mom back in the late 70s, early 80s. And one time we went to Vegas and we got intoxicated. No, we got drunk. I woke up the next morning and there was a marriage certificate on the mirror in our room.
A marriage certificate?
Oh my. Yes. So there was a marriage certificate on the mirror and I said, whose marriage certificate is that? She said, that's ours. And I said, no, it's not. I didn't marry you. And she said, so I had to get back to base. So we went back to base. So about 2 months later, well, a while later, I had to go leave for 2 months with the military. So I came back. About a week later, her mom said she's pregnant, and things wasn't adding up. I just got home. I mean, I've been gone for 2 months, and a week later, you're pregnant. So she told me that I wasn't the father. And then a little bit later on, I received some legal papers stating that she had named somebody else as being the father. So some time went by, and we tried to rekindle our relationship. Unbeknownst to me that her mom had a drug problem, and I didn't know. So her mom dropped me off at work. She took my car, and she was gone for a week. When she brought my car back, my car was stripped. And that was it. So, commenced about 2011, about 27 years later, I received a Facebook notice from Keisha. And she said that she thought I might have been her dad. Mm-hmm. And so
why?
She's tall and everybody else in her family is short, and they was messing with her about being so tall and everybody else is so short. Everybody in my family is...
How did she know of you?
Because she was about, the last time I saw Keisha, she was like 2 or 3.
Right.
You know? And
so nobody remembers anybody when they were 2 or 3?
He was remembering me.
So when she contacted you in 2011, what was that conversation? She said, I think you're my dad. What was the conversation after that?
Oh, we talked about getting together. Okay. So we lived in Kansas, so we flew out to LA. And my wife and my sister-in-law, we drove to San Diego, California. That's where she was living. And she came, and Keisha had 2 children at the time. They came to our hotel room, we ordered pizza, and we talked and everything. And when I saw her, I just knew, she reminded me of my mom. Okay. My sister-in-law was there also with us. She said she looked like my mom. And when I saw her, my face just lit up. I was overjoyed. I said, wow, I finally got a kid. Beautiful. A child that belonged to me. And
how old was she?
She said she was 23.
23.
23. All right. 5 years out of child
support. Maybe no. I'm so
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I wasn't 23, so now I'm on
Vladimir, you was pregnant with Vladimir.
2011. How old was I? Because that was 10 years ago.
So I was
about 29. Your age. So
just say a woman.
Right, I'm right.
Just say a woman don't tell her age. Yeah. Oh, you can't keep up with your own lives. Well, you done told some man you're 23, you done told the other one you're 27, you don't know what you are today. So, you all left there and you believe she was your daughter at that time.
Right.
Then what happened since then?
Okay, we talked since then. She told me about her past and being in foster care. And I was telling her that I paid child support for her brother. That I knew that I wasn't his father because he was 18 months when I met her mother. So I paid child support for him for 10 years. And if I had knew that her sister, and her brother was in foster care, I would have went and got all 3 of them. I mean, I wanted a child. I wanted to be a father that bad. I would have went and got all 3. I would have been the best father to each and every one of them, Your Honor. Mm-hmm. I would have stepped up, and I had a place of my own. I had a good job. I could have took care of them all. They didn't have to be on welfare. I wouldn't have got them. But they wouldn't let me know nothing. They just wanted that money. The welfare people just wanted that money. I would have been there for them. But ever since then, Keisha and I, we've been communicating through Facebook, through emails, texting, phone calls. I'm there for my grandkids. Good. I send them, I try my best to encourage them. I see them Bible verses. I tell them that Jesus loves them, I so do you. I'm proud of you. I am so proud of her, where she came from and where she is right now. I am so proud of you. You became a beautiful black woman, and I love you very much. My grandkids, I love my grandkids. And the best present I ever got for Christmas was my grandson. He have a little speech impairment. But the first time he said, "Merry Christmas, Grandpa," that brought tears to my eyes because he don't speak that well. But that touched me so much. And then my little baby girl, oh man, she's so precious. She said the same thing, and it just brought tears. I was like a balling little kid, you know. I was touching. And right now, Your Honor, it just
see what
so
you're missing, absentee fathers. That's what you're missing. You hear him talking how much it has brightened up his life, and it only started when she was an adult. So it's not too late for you fathers that have not been in your children's lives to recover a relationship, rebuild it, and experience the joy of fatherhood, no matter what age. I thank God for men like you.
I met Keisha's mom back in the late 70s, early 80s. And one time we went to Vegas and we got intoxicated. No, we got drunk. I woke up the next morning and there was a marriage certificate on the mirror in our room.
Marriage certificate?
Oh my.
Yes. And I said, "Whose marriage certificate is that?" She said, "That's ours." And I said, "No, it's not. I didn't marry you." She said,
Plaintiff Brandlin Bible and his wife Diane petitioned the court for a paternity test because he believes the defendant may be his daughter, despite the fact that her mother told him she wasn't.
You give me your assessment on things.
Okay, so thank you, Honor, for having us here today. Like he said, I was born in the 80s. I don't have any memory of him at all prior to my adulthood. While with my mother, I did know of my father who is on my birth certificate, and that's who I thought was my father for almost half my life. Yeah. When my mom broke up with him, because she was so addicted to drugs growing up.
How old were you?
Oh, at this time, I was like 2 or 3.
She was young.
And, but I have a lot of memories, unfortunately. I still remember a lot. I mean, we were on the streets. We lived on Skid Road. We've lived in parks. We've lived in cardboard boxes.
How many people?
It was me and my brother at the time. My sister, her family had stepped in and had taken her at that point. And
prior to that, homeless
together. But what I remember is of me and my brother. So me and my brother endured a lot because my mom was addicted to drugs. You know, I seen things that a child should not see. I seen my mom shoot up. I've seen my mom turn tricks. I've seen my mom be arrested and sleep in parks and being too scared to leave because I wanted to make sure she could find us. Eating out of trash cans, just the worst of the worst, you know. Eventually, we were taken from my mother. I was about 6 or 7. I'm not sure exactly when. We were placed in foster care. And at that time, I had not heard from my who I thought was my dad. And I saw my mom one time and she never came back and got us.
That's amazing.
So me and my brother, we were so just trying to stick together because we had heard, my mom would always tell us that's why we would hide out in the park because we didn't want to get taken. She was like, if you guys go in foster care, they're going to split you guys up. You guys will never see each other. And me and him, we were each other's backbone. So we wanted to make sure that we stuck together. So even in foster care, I endured a lot of abuse. So eventually at 17,
were you all still able to be around each other, you and your brother?
We were, yes. And we were able to stick together because we didn't cause no problems. And eventually, when my brother moved out, I got tired of the abuse that I was enduring there. I had a job, so I actually got kicked out for trying to stop the abuse. And I got on my own. I still graduated from high school, a distinguished school, and I worked. And after that, my auntie had actually reached out to me at this point, and she had mentioned Brandon, and she was like, oh, guess who I spoke to? I had spoken to Brandon, and he had asked me about you guys to try to see how you guys were all doing. And I was like, oh, who was Brandon? And she said that he was the man that your mother was married to at around the same time that she got pregnant with you. Mm-hmm. So, and she said, well, I don't know. She said the timeline is a little questionable. So she said that he would love to reconnect with me, Ayana, and my brother. And I was like, I don't know about that, because like I said, I had a little sketchy past with men, so I was a little hesitant about involving anybody. And at that point, to me, I had no parents ever in my life. So time went on, and then as I started speaking to my sister and my brother, they were telling me all these wonderful things about Brandon. They were like, no, he was awesome to our mother. He was the reason they just told me all these wonderful stories about riding in his little tow truck and how sweet and how he would put up with our mama craziness. And I was like, well,
and he hasn't seen me since I was 6 or 7. So this is the first time that he's seen me since then, and he was an awesome guy.
Good.
So everything that I had heard was pretty much from my sister and brother and my aunt. So a little more time went by, and my aunt brought him up again. My aunt kept bringing him up. Now, this is why I think she kind of figured something was up. So that's when I eventually did reach out to Facebook, and then he told me, oh, well, we'll come out here and visit. And I remember I was like, I don't have no parents, and I really wanted my children to, if they could possibly have grandparents or something. By that time, my mom had passed away. I was notified while in foster care. My dad had passed away, so it was like I had nobody. And sure enough, when I met him and I seen him, I was still kind of like, I don't know, he could be, but everyone was like, that's your dad. Look at them big old eyes. And then we both kind of have the same droopy eye. So
what has the relationship been like since then? That's 2011.
Oh my God, I love this man. I love his wife. They are both, I call her Mama Diane. That's my dad. I call him Dad. My kids call them Grandma and Grandpa. That man do not miss a beat. Every Mother's Day, birthdays, Christmas, Easter, there's a present and a check in the mail. Like, he doesn't, if I need anything, Dad, can you give me this? No problem. You know what I mean? He's literally, I was like, at this point, we came to a point where I was like, do you want to get a DNA test, to see if you're my dad? I would love to know for sure. And he was like, no, because it doesn't even matter. And then through the years, I've kind of like, are you sure you want to? Because he knew it was something, but he kind of was hesitant because he was like, I'm your dad. It doesn't even matter. I'm always be your dad. And I'm like, I know.
Now, he's your birth dad?
No, my birth dad. So my mom we had the same mom, but 3 different dads.
Okay.
In the 80s, at the time, if you wasn't a biological, I was raised by my grandmother. If you wasn't a biological family member, you wasn't able to take in the kids. So she could not take my brother and sister. So we were separated during that time. My father passed away when I was 3 months old.
And I was like, oh, who was Brandon? And she said, he was the man that your mother was married to at around the same time that she got pregnant with you. Mm-hmm. So, and she said, well, I don't know. She said, the timeline is a little questionable. He said that he would love to reconnect with me, Ayana, and my brother. And I was like, I don't know about that.
Plaintiff Brandlin Bible and his wife Diane petitioned the court for a paternity test because he believes the defendant may be his daughter, despite the fact that her mother told him she wasn't.
I can't take my hat off to you enough.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Your Honor.
For reaching out and searching. You want to say something, ma'am?
I'm wondering, she is my daughter.
Beautiful.
And can I just say something as an older sister?
Sure.
In times, what we endured, all 3 of us, we are all in our careers. My sister is in insurance. My brother is a flight attendant for the #1 airlines. I'm a school teacher, going to school, and we're single moms. I have a child. She has 4 beautiful kids.
I think I told my daughter, I told her God brought us together for a reason, because he knew that I needed her just as much as she needed me. We needed each other, because she had brightened up my life. And I thank God for you every day, and my grandkids. And I love you very much.
Likewise, I love you.
And nobody will never take that away from you. I love you. And no matter what this thing test say, you're going to always be my baby
And you're
girl.
always my dad.
Well, the test says yes. So, there you go. Have a good day. God bless y'all.
These are happy tears.
We
We got closure.
We
We got closure.
I love you.
Hey,
Yes, Lord. This is 40 years of answered prayers.
yes, it is.
Oh my God.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
No more questions. We go now.
Yes,
I'm
now
glad.
we celebrate.
Plaintiff Josephine Davis says she first met the defendant in 1999 at a strip club where she was a dancer. And although they hooked up, she insists they never dated. Josephine claims they reconnected years later, but she's suing him today for the value of stolen property. Defendant Ricky Musgrove insists he and Josephine did date, and she told him that she loved him many times, including while he was incarcerated. Ricky says everything Josephine's suing him for was a gift.
All right, start with you.
I met Rick back in 1999. I was a dancer at a strip club, and when I first met him, I didn't like him.
Why? You wasn't throwing up enough money?
I didn't have a
Wasn't
reason
making
why
it
not
rain?
to like him. I just didn't like him. So
Was there a customer or something? No.
no, he was just in the
Just there
strip
hanging
club.
around?
Yeah, and
Never saw him throw money. He may have thrown some, but you don't know.
he probably did. Yeah.
Okay.
He did a
when you
couple
throw
times.
money, he was somebody else's.
Yeah, he was, but he wasn't like a
All
customer.
right, he didn't want to give you no money.
I
All
did.
right, and
So
obviously
he-
you still
I
don't
did.
want to. Obviously, you still don't want to because you're suing him. But go ahead. So you met him there, and how did things go?
Yeah, so a mutual friend of ours was messing with one of his friends, and then we ended up started messing around ourselves. And
What made you change your mind about liking him?
he was nice to me. He treated me respectfully, and he wasn't who I, assumed he was, the kind of
Okay.
guy he was. And so I lost contact with him, and I didn't talk to him for years. So, and I didn't never know why. Later, I found out.
How long did you all date?
Oh, we didn't really date. We just messed around. We didn't date. We
Oh,
weren't-
okay.
we never-
How
we were
long did
never-
you all mess? How many times did you mess around?
A couple times.
Okay.
A couple.
Yes, a couple.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So years later,
So years later, a mutual friend of ours had died, and we ended up getting back in contact with each other. And so we started, talking a lot more. Fast forward a few more years, I was going through a bad breakup with an ex, and he was there, kind of to comfort me. I just had stomach surgery, so, he was calling me every day. We were talking all day, every day. And so I ended up moving from Dallas and, selling most of my stuff and moving from Dallas to Miami. And Rick had asked me, did I need any help moving? I told him, no, I got it.
you moved there to be with him?
No.
Okay.
No, I just moved there to get away from Dallas.
And he lived there?
No, he lived in Milwaukee or Chicago. He lives in both places, I guess.
Okay. Let me get some background from you.
Well, like she said, we met at a strip club. She was a stripper, and I was a
Trick?
no.
What?
I had girls in the club as well, stripping.
You were pimping?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
And they brought you money after selling their body?
yeah.
Selling
They
their body?
weren't selling their body. They
But
was
then you weren't pimping?
well.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, they were selling their body. I was doing my thing.
Make up your mind. You just said you weren't.
I was doing my
First it was
thing.
yeah, and then it was no, and then you, like I said, you were confused. You
No,
probably
I
didn't
was
know
doing
what
my
it is.
thing, but
You probably
anyway.
don't even know what it is. Okay, you had women working for you. How'd that go?
So Oh, it did good.
Now you're getting sued for money. It must have been slow. Go ahead. What happened? Tell me how it went for you.
She hated me at first because I was dating her friend. She
you
talking
ain't
about.
pimping. No pimps get hated. That's the whole thing about pimping.
Oh.
Is that you make the woman love you and she do what you want for
You
you.
see what came around? Did you see what came around?
Like you. Did she give you some money?
No.
Did she get well then? There ain't nothing happened.
I had too many.
Go ahead,
I didn't
move
want no
on.
money from her.
I know. I know pimping. I know. Go ahead.
But anyway.
I know you big pimp. Big pimp.
But anyway.
Big money.
But anyway, I mean, we dealt with each other. She started going out of town with me. We wasn't trying to.
Time out.
I wasn't trying to get no money from her. We was just having fun. Travel. I'm taking her back to Fort to Wisconsin.
I didn't go out of town with you.
Then I went to prison. She moved to Texas. Her husband called me out the blue saying, she still talk about you all the time.
He's not my husband. He was my boyfriend at the time, and he went through my text messages and seen that we were still friends.
The only thing I said was hello. She hated me at first because I was dating her friend. She talking
you ain't
about.
Pimping. No pimps get hated. That's the whole thing about pimping.
Oh.
Is that you make the woman love you and she do what you want for
You
you.
see
because
what
she
came
love you.
around?
Did she give you some money?
No.
Did she get well then? There ain't nothing happened.
I had too many.
Go ahead,
I didn't
move
want no
on.
money from her.
I know.
But anyway.
I know you big pimp. Big pimp.
But anyway.
Big money.
Plaintiff Josephine Davis admits she and the defendant hooked up, but says they never dated. But the defendant insists they did date, and Josephine even professed her love for him.
Go ahead.
So anyway, we get back together. Memorial Day weekend.
We get back together. We were never together.
Did we have sex in Miami?
What does that have to do with we get back together?
We got back together.
No, getting back together. I never dated you. That's getting back
You
together.
never dated me? Before
no,
this?
No, I didn't date you. You were never my boyfriend. You were never my man. No.
You weren't telling me you love me?
Please stop lying. Stop.
Was you telling me you love me?
No, and I never.
Girl, stop
I don't
it.
love you.
When I went to jail, you used to start crying and stayed in my room and never came out until I got out.
Rick, why
what
would
is
I
you
say
talking
I love you?
about?
I don't even know you like that. I never said I loved you, and stop making that up. And you
never said you loved me.
You always make. Oh, we were in love.
Oh
we
my
were never
God,
in love.
you nuts.
Never in love.
You nuts.
Ever.
I knew you was nuts.
No,
I
you're
knew.
nuts.
Schizophrenic.
You're sitting up
you
lying to
hearing
the judge.
voices?
You're lying.
Yeah, you act like you're the nut.
No, I ain't no nut.
Yeah, you are. You act like you're the nut. You know zero about the game, and then you're here perpetrating a fraud.
No, I wasn't
perpetrating a fraud and making a fool out of yourself. Now, let's get back to her. You've made a big enough fool of yourself.
Okay.
Now, let me get back to you, man. What stolen property are you suing?
How is it stolen?
Okay, so when I moved, I was selling a bunch of stuff, and when I got to Miami, I still had a motorcycle, a Tesla radio. The motorcycle came with a helmet and a trailer. And so I mentioned that I still had these things for sale, and Rick was like, oh, well, I want the Tesla radio for myself. And then he said he could sell the motorcycle for me. So he ends up saying...
Be quiet, Pimpless. I'm trying to listen to her. Go ahead.
He ends up calling me and telling me he has a buyer, and he's going to send for the motorcycle. So I said, okay, he's a friend. I trusted him.
That's a lie.
So...
Tell the truth.
Know why I need to lie, but okay. So anyway, he comes in.
I asked you to be quiet.
He comes and he sends someone to come get the radio. I mean, the motorcycle, the radio, and everything. I sent it up to him. I even asked him, well, do you want to sell this bread frame while you're at it since you're selling all this other? He said yes. So.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
So when I get.
He's lying.
So I got an opportunity to restart my trucking company. So I'm like, okay, I need to raise this money. And I call Rick and I say, Rick, I need this money. When am I going to get this money? Oh, I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it to you.
Girl.
Never send it to me. Time and time again, I'm texting him, when are you going to send it to me? When are you going to send it to me? So he says he's coming to Miami with his brother or whoever. So
stop lying.
Then he calls me about 2:30 in the morning, drunk. Oh, come to my room. I got you. I'm not coming to your room. It's 2:30 in the morning and you're drunk. I already know every time I'm coming to his room what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to with me. So I'm not going to,
I'm going to try to what with you?
Yes, you know.
What?
You wanted to have sex with me every time. Yes, you did. He would bet.
Oh,
he would talk about, oh, I want to get you pregnant all the time. He would call me drunk 2, 3 o'clock in the morning drunk. But I just needed my money. So I'm trying to be nice to him in order to get my money, keep him at bay. This is the real story. What are you talking about? So, and I'm trying. So when he ends up getting mad, he didn't give me any money in Miami. He goes back home. We're going back and forth. I need my money. I need my money. He never sends me the money. So then, fast forward to his birthday, he has the tenacity to call me up and say, oh, you gonna cash out me some money for my birthday? Well, if your Cash App works, why didn't you send me the money?
It was a joke. Crazy.
How am I joking with you when I'm asking you time and time again? I'm telling you, I need this money.
Mad because I went to the Bahamas with another
first
one.
I thought you were a nut. Now you're acting like a crackhead nut.
No.
So would you please let her talk? Otherwise, I am going to be convinced. I'm thinking you're a crackhead nut. But
Never.
I'm going to be convinced you're a crackhead nut if you don't let her finish. Go ahead.
Okay, so when he came to Miami the second time, I said, you know, Rick, I need you to cash at me the money. Oh, I'm gonna come meet you. I'm gonna pull
What
up
was
on
the
you.
last response to your request?
He hung up in my face.
Okay, let me hear from you, sir, about the money.
I went to Miami Memorial Day weekend, right? She agreed. She got a house, but we stayed at the hotel. She was telling me all this stuff she got. She needs space for her house. I said, okay.
I don't need space for my house.
Let me get the motorcycle. No, I said, let me get the Tesla radio. Then she said, I got a motorcycle on the corner. Send me a picture of it. I said, yeah, I'll take that too.
He asked for the picture.
Then, listen, it's my turn. So I said, I'll pay for the shipment. I'll pay for the shipment. If you give it to me, I'll pay for the shipment to get back to Wisconsin. So she agreed on it. So I put a deposit on the shipment. Never seen a motorcycle, never seen none of this stuff. We agreed. She needs this. I think she just wanted to get rid of it because it was her ex's.
It was not my.
So when it all came down, when I was in Miami, we started having sex. She started falling back for me. So I paid $800. It came a problem when she, I posted on Facebook where we was at. We was in Keys, Florida, and another girl responded and said, I see you. She's going on the girl page and see me kissing a girl. So that's where the whole problem come with the money issue. That's when she started asking for money. She was mad because I started messing with her.
Even happened. The part hadn't even happened the first time.
No, I paid. Listen, she gave me the motorcycle with the title.
Listen, don't say A to B again,
Judge,
and don't say listen. Say Your Honor.
Your Honor.
And yeah.
She gave. I wish I knew I was coming.
They were gifts.
Yes.
Okay, everything were gifts. That's all you have to say.
They was gifts.
All right.
She sent the motorcycle.
I just asked you a simple question, and you just going on and on. Are you tweaking?
She up here lying.
Got you tweaking.
No,
I asked you a question. Just tell me the answer.
She
says they were all gifts, ma'am.
The money was never an issue, Your Honor.
Plaintiff Josephine Davis admits she and the defendant hooked up, but says they never dated. But the defendant insists they did date, and Josephine even professed her love for him.
Anybody have any evidence?
I have multiple texts saying that he's going to send me the money.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Multiple texts.
After all that,
What
you
day
have
was
texts
it?
to say that.
Because you was threatening.
As soon as I sell it, I call you and send you your money. I'm not going to play you, but you can still call me as a friend.
That was for
What
the
else?
bed.
Be quiet, son.
That was for that
What else?
Kennedy bed.
What else?
On page 9, I be in Miami tomorrow on First and Collins in South Beach. If you want your money, you will have to come get it. That's when he decided to
Trying to
call me.
extort you out of sex now.
Yeah, because every time I tried to
have
What
sex
else?
with her.
What else?
Okay.
You just lying.
You promising to pay, sir. You
So
said it was all a gift. How can you
It
promise
was.
to pay? Well, why are you promising to pay?
Because I told her I would
I'm
buy
gonna
the
give you
Tesla
money.
radio. I told her I'd buy the
Said it
Tesla.
was all
Do it say
a gift.
payment for that
Why didn't you
motorcycle?
pay
Why would
for
I give
that?
you a motorcycle?
Why
Why
haven't
would
you
Why would I
paid her?
pay $800
Why
to get
haven't
a
you
ship?
paid her? Get this crackhead out of here. Judgment for the
Thank you,
plaintiff.
Your Honor.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yelling
We can
person in here.
You know
You
was
on crack.
lying. You know you was lying.
Girl, stop it.
No, you
just hated because I was on a trip with another woman. Because nobody don't want you.
Oh, please. I
Big
don't
ankle.
want you to want me. That's the best
Girl,
thing you
stop
said
it.
to
You
me.
did
Thank
want
God
me.
you don't
You
want
did
me.
want me.
Please delete my number.
Girl, I don't call you.
Plaintiff Stephen Rowley is an ER nurse who says his life has been turned upside down by the pandemic. Stephen says he enjoys gardening as a pastime, but he's suing his neighbor because he claims she intentionally killed his flowers by pouring poison on them. Defendant Tracy Hutchinson admits that she did not like Stephen's flowers because they made her lawn look tacky, but she insists the substance she poured on the flowers was intended to help them grow, not kill them.
Start with you.
I've been a nurse for 25 years. I have been mostly an ER nurse. I have a great family, I work hard, and I just pretty much hang around my house. I don't go anywhere, do anything like that. But since this coronavirus has hit, it has been extremely difficult to be a nurse. It's very stressful. And I find that people are coming to my place of employment and some are dying from a virus that the world, 98% of us didn't even know existed. It is a bit overwhelming, and there's so much things to worry about, and I don't want to get off on that.
Okay.
But I don't want to deal with the pettiness. And that's actually why I'm here today suing my neighbor Tracy, is just basically pettiness.
Okay. And let me ask how long you all have been neighbors.
So I've lived in my neighborhood for about 45 years, in my house for 21.
Okay.
Tracy's lived in the rental property for next door to me for about a year and a half. Because I didn't even know her name. That's how much we talked in the year and a half. So initially it was a Wednesday.
Well, let me get a little background from her. Yeah, and then we'll get back to the beginning of what happened. Yes, ma'am. You want to tell me a little bit about...
Yes, Your Honor. My husband and I are peaceful people. We don't disturb anybody. We don't even have loud music going. And this drama queen decides that it's not good enough...
Stop the name calling. Go ahead.
Sorry, Your Honor. This gentleman decides that it's not good enough that I offered to buy flowers, that I offered to even help him.
Well, let me ask you this. Why haven't you all spoken much in a year and a half that you've lived right next door to each other? You share a property line.
That's a good question, Your Honor. We don't talk because he doesn't even acknowledge the fact that we live there. He barely talks to anybody except for the people that live across the street from it. When we did try to speak with him, he acted like a jerk. Never even acknowledged the fact, never even waved.
You all waved and he wouldn't wave back. Why wouldn't he?
Once or twice.
Can you speculate on why he had this attitude with you guys before you even met you?
I couldn't figure him out from the beginning. I tried to be nice. Turned into an argument. I've had arguments with people before. I've walked away from them.
Defendant Tracy Hutchinson is being sued by her neighbor, who claims Tracy intentionally killed his flowers by pouring poison on them.
Can you tell me whether you all had arguments before this?
We have never had any problems whatsoever. I've spoken with her husband, Fabian, one or two times, some conversations. It's just our schedules aren't working. I'm mowing the yard. My garden is at the far end of the other part of the yard. We just don't talk. No problem whatsoever. I didn't have a negative bone in my body towards this family at all.
Got it. And so tell me about what happened.
So on May 5th, I came home from going to the store. I'd forgotten something, and then I parked my truck. I kept it going. I was just going to go in. As I'm going to the door, she says, "Hey, can I talk to you?" I said, "Yeah." Oh, my goodness. My mind is boom, blown. She wants to talk. Neighbor wants to talk. Oh, I'm excited. I go and get my stuff, come out, and I said, "Hey, how can I help you?" She's standing against my retaining wall saying, "Hey, are these yours?" I said, "Yeah." And in my head, I'm thinking, these beautiful phlox that I've taken care of here for a while, I'm trying to get to grow. I said, "Yeah, they're phlox." And I said, in the summer when the flowers go away, I'm going to cut them in half. If you want some, I'll give you some. And her words were actually, I think they look ugly and they're making my yard look tacky. And I was like, what the heck? It was actually more than that, but it was along those lines. I can't believe this is the conversation that she wants to have the first time we're having a conversation.
Okay, stop right there.
Yeah.
Ma'am, did this tell me about this conversation? If
it never took place. It's fiction.
You never said to him, "This makes my lawn..."
No, I did say that. I said because they make my yard look tacky.
Fiction, ma'am.
I was not
fiction then. You immediately said, "No, it's fiction." He didn't say it. And then you went exactly to say, "Yes, I did say it." That's what I was asking you. And your immediate answer was, "No, it's fiction. I didn't say any of that." And then you said, "I only said..." Go ahead, sir. So
then, after she said that, I said, "Actually, what's making your yard look tacky is this collection of 10,000 dandelions you got growing on the yard and these 2 dead trees." And I skedaddled out of there. So I worked, that was a Wednesday. I come home on Friday because I only worked a half a day. And the flowers are like, it was like an energy vampire. It's like the color and the life are sucked out of these flowers. And immediately I knew. I went in, I pulled up my audio video system that's around my house. I pulled it up. I see her having this cylindrical container filled with like a milky white substance, pouring it on my flowers and poisoning the ground. And I was like, oh my gosh. I called the police the next day. The police issued her a ticket.
Let me see what she says to that.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. One, we did not have a conversation of what even the flowers were called. I did tell him, yes, they make my yard look tacky because I don't appreciate certain things in my yard, and I did not know where the property line was at the time.
Defendant Tracy Hutchinson is being sued by her neighbor, who claims Tracy intentionally killed his flowers by pouring poison on them.
Ma'am, what do you say to spraying his flowers with poison?
I didn't intentionally poison his flowers. This was something that I had found that helped my flowers out, because I have a rose bush in my yard. I thought it was going to help. So
help you?
Yes,
okay.
But I was trying to be nice. And
to him?
Yes.
Oh, that's why you sprayed his?
Yes.
Trying to be nice?
Yes.
But trying to be nice, you killed his flowers?
Inadvertently, yes.
Okay.
It was
all
not
right.
intentional.
And you were trying to be nice the next day after having had a negative encounter with him. Because your negative encounter with him was, you make my lawn look tacky. That's a negative encounter, ma'am. That's not a comment that makes you do something nice for your neighbor the very next day. I don't know who you're kidding or who you think you're kidding. Let's look at your tape.
Judge, just real quick, it wasn't the next day. It was 10 minutes after I pulled out of the driveway.
10 minutes later.
10 minutes.
She's in love with you.
I know.
So much so she wants to help your lawn.
I understand.
10 minutes earlier, you're making my lawn look bad. It's looking tacky.
So there we are having the conversation. So this is about 10 minutes later.
See, I know. She said, I know what to do. Yeah, you talking crazy to me. I know what to do.
Thank you.
Give you some of this. See how that work out.
Right.
That's right. You know what to do. Talking crazy to you. Is that it? I bet you'll leave her alone. What's your defense, ma'am? It was a mistake, is what you say.
Yes, sir.
All right. And
yes,
when
Your
you
Honor.
make mistakes that damage others, you are liable, because that is the definition of negligence, a mistake. But you still pay for the damages when someone has an accident in a car. No one intends to damage either car. And so even if I buy that, which I don't, I think it was intentional, but even if I buy what you're saying, you're still liable. So I'm gonna grant his judgment. Judgment for the plaintiff. You ain't killed nobody or other neighbor's flowers, have you? You
Sir,
still got that stuff?
Sir, I
still
live
got
in
that
my
white
basement.
powder or whatever that is.
It's over.
Man, flowers. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
He's still a drama queen.